back here, MMA Gems podcast. It's gonna be a bit quicker this week. It's me and Unc manning the ship as Hot Hands MIA somewhere on the Vegas floor, and Mo took the jet over to Buffalo to handle some business. So we're uh we're gonna be a two man ship today. And just a quick recap of last card. We had Park and Tatsura Tyra looks like he's transcending to the next level. Non-fraudulent Jap. Uh, well, we don't know yet, but he did look good against Park, who might have been rushing to that fight. Overall, solid card for us yet again. Another profitable card, bunch of snipes, and we're ready for another one. This card's looking a little rough. So I want to put a disclaimer at least on the money line perspectives because besides the fight with Brundage, this got added, and even that fight right now is getting pushed by the juice. Um, a lot of these odds out here today, or and are at the minimum like minus 200 favorites on the money line. So you're not going to be able to play money lines on a lot of these fights. So be aware of that you're going to have to get creative with some same game parlays or with some round props, takedown props, striking props. You got to get weird on cards like this. Uh,
My whole sheet is same game parlays and double chances and props because it was a hell of a time trying to find anything playable for this. I think the only money line I have is like C Rod and it's like minus 250. And it just money lines were horrible for this card. So my whole thing is like you just said.
yeah. So without further ado, we'll move on to the first fight, which is a fight that was added a couple days ago, which was kind of spontaneous. But we got Eric McConico and taking on Cody Brundage here to start the night off. Um, Monaco coming off that fight not too long ago against Bruzy Boyev, and then Brundage back in the octagon here as a medium favorite. And Brundage, of course, extensive high school and college wrestling career, two-time NCAA qualifier. Yeah, solid BJJ, of course, but questionable positional IQ. Like when he's shooting for gillies or he's on top falling over, like he's doing stupid stuff. So kind of like cancels out his quality grappling. He has plus power too in the striking realm, but
He's bad transitions. Bad
yeah,
transitions,
yeah,
Cody
bad
Brundage.
transitions. But he has plus power in the striking realm, but he could be over aggressive and like oh, and like in the same thing with the submission game in the striking realm, he could chase a low percentage chances at finishes. So it puts him in bad shots. He sees someone get like what he thinks is hurt, but not really hurt, and then overcommit and get hurt himself. So that's Brundage, and then McConico. Like I said, coming off that fight with Rudy Boyev, got put down not too long ago. Football guy that transitioned to MMA, strong grappling, clinch based. What I noticed on the film is he throws a lot of telegraph shots, especially like body kicks. I think Brundage overall is gonna be a little bit too quick for that, but he's throwing his shots at full power. He's. You can see it in his eyes in the graphic right now. He is not here. Try to go to a decision. He clinches. He's throwing full power, but that's to his downfall as well. He's potentially chinny too. Knocked down in the regional scene, and his fight with Maki Patolo in 2023. Maki, former UFC. I don't know about UFC level, but fought around the UFC. Uh, Fought him. That was a war, but he was put down in that. Ended up persevering and getting the W, but showing that he's possibly chinny. Overall in this bout, though, I think Brundage had a speed advantage, like I said before, and he could hold his own in the clinch situations and with the grappling. Obviously, Cody Brundage is not reliable, like at all. He's one of those guys that are like Kevin Holland or whatever. I'd rather go buy beer for a homeless person than bet on Cody Brundage. Uh, my especially now that it's getting juicy. He opened up at like plus money. Now he's over here at minus 170, minus 180 on some books. I'm not paying minus 180, but there's probably possibly a way to play him. Under in this fight might be a way. I don't know about 1.5. It's a little low. I just 5 years younger for Brundage. This has classic brawl written all over it, but you don't ever put heavy money on Cody Brundage. What do you feel, Unc?
So my lean is Cody Brundage money line. I mean, Eric McConico might be the guy that was working in the paint aisle when I bought my house and helped me pick some shades out for the walls. Honest to God. No, obviously I'm joking, but I literally have in my notes Cody Brundage versus paint salesman. Eric McConico, Eric McConico, great on the regional scene. Cody Brundage, so unreliable, has lost us money in the past. So, but like he's fought in the UFC. I mean, if the guy shows up and has any, of what he's learned in fighting in the big leagues, he should win this. But then my best bet, which is not available on DraftKings yet, is something to go with. Not the distance, round three, not to start, or
Round
the
two.
finish of the fight,
Bro, he's
or
done it.
finish of the or finish of the fight to be a KO.
Yeah, I thought you were on a different page because I was looking at round two to start. Uh, but those obviously aren't available yet, as this fight's pretty late. The reasoning for
Yeah,
that, I think that Brundage draws these fights out with guys like this, and obviously they're gonna be brawling, so it's gonna be a scary prop nonetheless. But I think we might be able to get that at decent money.
yeah. So, like I said, my my best bet is going to be something involving KO, round three, not to start, or fight not to go the distance. But my lean of who wins the fight is Cody Brundage versus Eric McConico, who was fighting in like random leagues. And like I said, he might have been the paint salesman when I bought my house 5 years ago. So that's all I gotta say about that. He has good striking. He has a puncher's chance. If Cody Brundage fights stupid, he'll get flatlined.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
that's what it is.
I agree with that. So we'll move on with that one, and we'll go over to the first fight of the night. Gabriela Fernandez taking on Julia Stoliarenko. Um, I butchered that, but Stoliarenko, 2-6 in the UFC, completely one-dimensional BJJ threat, straight armbar hunter. 9 of her 11 wins come by armbar. Uh, she'll pull guard, she'll roll, she'll literally do anything in the book to try to get an armbar specifically. She is all right striking and like brings the tempo and starts brawling, elbows, head kicks. But like she's not really too technical. She's just going to try to cause some type of chaos to try to get a roll or takedown to get to the ground. But she is susceptible to getting her ass beat because she'd be pulling guard, sometimes gets beat up. She had Chelsea Chandler looking like fucking Thor, like beating I don't even know, the Hulk. Uh Obviously Stoliarenko has legit podium like pedigree in the jiu-jitsu. He has IBJJF tournaments all the way up from blue belt to black belt, winning gold, bronze, and open weight and everything. She's legit Roger Gracie Academy lineage, and she's gone 5 rounds, so that goes under her belt too. But she's really weak when it comes to striking defense. And Gabriela Fernandez, Muay Thai base, dances straight up in the air, but she's strong overall girl when it comes to her build. She is solid and crisp, striking up the middle with legitimate power. Uh, in short range with her tie clinches and even just very close boxing range, she is very good. Lands some devastating stuff up the middle. She's technical as hell. She has a purple belt in BJJ, so she's not a fish out of water on the ground. And she did uh, choke out Kong Wang, so he's there. Send Kong Wang to a Mao Zedong rally is what was in my notes. But physically strong in clinches, and overall, Julia is gonna immediately off the rip run across the cage, try to do some crazy shit, and then get this to an armbar. I think Fernandez is defensively sound enough to like get past that. And minus 400 line for this fight is somewhat ridiculous. Uh, because the striking for Stoliarenko isn't non-existent, but after some stalled attempts, she's gonna be gassed, and I think Fernandez is just gonna light her up on the feet. I don't know if she's gonna knock her out, but I think she's just gonna outstrike her to a pretty decent extent. And obviously, Stoliarenko is live with the armbar, but I'm gonna have to side with Fernandez here. I'm not paying minus 400. You know my motto: we'll take it live. But the WMMA God is up next. So what do you feel on that, Unc?
Yeah, so we got in the lean, we got Gabriel Fernandez by KO. Number one, Julia Sterlinko hunts the armbar, like you said, but she, I've like studied her jujitsu, and it's yeah, she comes out of the Gracie school, and like don't get me wrong, it's top of the line, but like there's only so many ways you can do an armbar, and there's like certain defenses that you can do. And Gabriela Fernandez's body structure of the way she's built and how like athletic and muscle like she is, and the fact that she does know jujitsu herself, would be able to what's called stack up Julia on the ground, meaning put all her weight on top of her so that she wouldn't be able to get the extension for the armbar if they were to go to the ground. But I think Gabriel Fernandez is going to piece up Julia Stoliarenko on the feet like bad. My parlay piece is Fernandez to win by decision or Stoliarenko to win by sub plus 120. Sterlinko's only path to victory is a submission. Like she can't win a decision. She won't outstrike Fernandez. She can't. She won't have top pressure. Like that's not like her game. Like she's gonna be hunting subs, and when you hunt subs and you don't get them, the other person ends up on top in half guard, and that's what's going to happen in this fight. So Gabriel Fernandez is either going to win by KO and knock her out, which I said is plus 140 on DraftKings, or she'll win by the decision, or Stolenko will pull off the miracle sub at plus 120. So you're getting value either way.
Yeah,
But that's what's gonna happen. She's gonna roll for the armbar, and she's gonna get stacked up, and then Fernandez is going to end up in half guard, and we're going to see like 2 minutes or 3 minutes of half guard, and then working around and trying to squirm it. That's what's going to happen.
I was looking at a possible round two to start prop, but the difference between like you're looking at them, they're like minus 275, minus 250 range. Um, but then you look at the over 1.5, it's like regular odds. Like over 1.5 is minus 150. So like I don't know if you take the shot in the extra 2.5 minutes, but always women. So Stoliarenko has went 5 rounds in a brawl before. I do think Fernandez is super technical though. I don't really want to mess around with this one, so you know how I take these fights. We'll bet it live. We'll move on though to the next fight. Got Euros Medis. Oh, Medic. Misspelled that. We gotta fire the graphic guy. Uh,
Yeah,
Gilbert
there we go, baby. Medic.
versus Gilbert Urbina. So Medic looking to get back. Um, he a southpaw fighter, known for his explosive striking. He obviously has the spinning techniques, sharp counters and shit. Very fast twitch with his feints, and overall just his striking game is very fluent and fast. Uh, not a lot of people know this, but he did start judo at the age of 4 years old, so he does have like clinch work and some judo trips and some type of grappling in his game, but it's not pronounced. And his defensive grappling uh, leaves a lot to be desired. He's been taken down fairly easily by guys like Matthew Semmelsberger. I can't really fault him for the Mictebek Orbai because who can fault that? But he's getting taken down by some decent guys. Well, even like he didn't really get taken down by Krylov that bad, but he did Krylov, which I think is a complete fraud. We just cash fading. But either way, on the other side of this, you got Gilbert Urbina. Um, uh, longer welterweight at 6'3", got that 75-inch reach. Balanced guy. Like he can strike and strong with the grappling. He's willing to get into those exchanges though. and leave it all in the center of the octagon. But he can employ that forward pressure off the start, like off that opening gun. He has that energy of coming out and just trying to push the pace. Uh, he threw
Gonna,
around.
gonna get slept.
What happened?
Said he's gonna get slept. Go ahead.
uh, his grappling he has some solid shots and the ability to take the back. You are rear naked choke subs, and he's tossing around Brian Battle at one point and showed some strength. The overall question for me in this fight is, will Urbina be able to get to the ground early? Because Medic's takedown defense is very, very, very questionable. Um, and then on the other side of it, Medic is obviously has the striking advantage and speed and stuff, but his chin was cracked pretty severely against Soriana, and you have to think about that in this fight. Urbina too has had his chin cracked by guys like by Radke, and I do think Urbina is a live dog. I know that you said that you really like Medic. I'm gonna lean Medic because I just don't know if Urbina is gonna be able to sell him if he gets him down. Then it's gonna get back up on the feet, and Urbina's gonna gas, and then Medic's gonna put it on him. But I don't know, man. These odds are way out of there. Minus 450, like, gotta miss me with that. I low key think I think Medic's takedown defense is like genuinely ass. I think he can get taken down pretty easily. Like, I'm actually interested in not out yet, a takedown prop for Gilbert. I think he can get this one to the ground. I don't know where it happens after that. That's probably how I'm gonna attack it, but I'm not paying minus 50 medic or any type of prop involving his finish. So, dog or
Well,
pass for me here. Take
well,
over.
guess what, baby? We're going the complete opposite because old man is gonna sit in his recliner and he's gonna cash. Gilbert Urbina is well rounded, but the grappling's not even going to come into play into this. The most dangerous guys in MMA are the guys that are not athletically built with muscle and they're not fat. They just have like decently really firm like structures. And if you can get those guys that know how to strike or wrestle, they're killers. Euros Medic is like a Neanderthal looking guy. He has so much power, has crazy combinations. Like it let her. I mean, let her be in a try to wrestle him. I think his defense will hold up. I mean, he has a background in judo. He knows foot positioning. And I mean, from what I saw, Urbina doesn't have any world class wrestling attributes. So, but it was hell. It was hard to figure something out with this. I took Medic over 0.5 rounds as my lean, which is minus 190. And then for my parlay, it's a same game parlay, Medic plus under 2.5 rounds plus KO, which gets it to minus 175. We really don't like giving out multi piece same game parlays because it's pretty limited to DraftKings. But this guy's a minus 450 money line, and that's really I mean, I spent a little bit of time on this, and it's really the only way I could go. Your hedge bet is going to be if Urbina wins by KO. I mean, honestly, Mike, I'm going to disagree with you here. I don't see him out grappling and grappling being the big thing. He may get a takedown, but like he's not going to have top pressure and hold Medic down. So your hedge would be Urbina by KO, which is plus 1100, which is going to cover anything that you put down. And that's how I see it going. Once it gets into striking range and Medic does some real weird but crazy powerful combination and Urbina has never seen before, he's going to be like, wow, what is this guy throwing? And then Medic's going to walk him down. That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah. I think I can see it honestly. I originally was thinking that. I just saw a lot of stuff in Urbina's shot attempts and Medic's defense that makes me think a takedown prop is in order. I also would not hate the odds are just I don't understand it. I guess obviously everyone's banking on the Medic finish, but we've seen a lot of fights like be underwhelming. So Gilbert Urbina plus 7.5 alternate spread at plus 240. Um, that seems like great odds for winning one round if it goes the distance in a rounder. Other than that, though, I feel like you can
It's a
get
great play.
I feel like you can get
Great play.
Medic. I feel you can get Medic at a better price if Urbina first round like clinches him against the cage, which he's gonna try to do. That's what he does. Like he's trying to put him against the cage if he could. Like he's gonna run over off rip and try to like close the distance. He doesn't get fucking knocked the fuck out. But and Medic is fast, like to get away. But if he gets put against the cage for a second, it could get the odds down, and you can get Medic at probably like -2 something. But other than that, I pass on that. That's what I just said. Takedown prop plus 7.5. We'll move on to the next one now. Got another girl fight, and it's fucking super juiced. We got Priscilla Cachoeira. I know Unc's a big fan. We can't. I know he signaled back her last fight. Took her like plus 3.5, I believe, at around even plus money against Josiana Nunez, and she ended up sleeping her. And I took 30 seconds before the knockout. I signaled a live knockout, or like yeah, the end by knockout finish. It was like plus 140.
Which we cashed on.
Yep.
Cashed on that KO.
So cashed out on that. But here she is back, and she's taking on Jocelyn Edwards, who seems to be getting better every time in the octagon overall. Um, Edwards, great gyms. He's worked at or like trained at King's MMA, Extreme Couture, top comp that she's competing against, fighting against uh, in competition, a great competition for a long time. Training room, she has solid top pressure, good grappling. But obviously she has some IQ troubles. She doesn't have a lot of fights in her MMA career, so with more octagon time, she's gonna be able to start ironing those out. Starting to show improvements. Coming on two finishes, strong, long reach with the solid boxing and strong clinch. Well, uh, overall for Cochiera, she's her name says it all. Zombie girl. She has absurd durability, never knocked out. Legit power, first round finishes on the record. Like she's coming out here and she's putting on a show for a women's fight. And then she has some sus submission defense because she's gotten subbed 4 times in her career. Uh, overall in this fight, when I was thinking, I like Jocelyn Edwards. I don't trust her. And -350, yeah, like -350. I feel like was a slap in the face of like a sports better Jocelyn Edwards at this price. Um, I think she's gonna win the fight with top pressure and grappling if she was smart. Let me look at the opening odds for Jocelyn Edwards. She was at -200 at one point, and now she's like getting back to -400. I'll pass on those odds. Like you're on drugs. I'm skeptical on her, like I said, and I think if she can last the first couple minutes of the fight against Cochiere's onslaught, she's gonna be able to pick her apart, get her against the cage, put her into the ground, and either submit her or control her. So I'm gonna lean Jocelyn Edwards here, but you won't see me paying that. So, like I said, for almost all girl fights, we'll take it live. Um, over to you, Unc.
All right, so I followed Zombie Girl's career. I've seen her probably fight every fight that she's ever fought. Her MO is that she's really big for her weight class, and then she cuts down weight, and then she balloons back up. So she has so much power. She actually was a Brazilian Muay Thai national champion, and has had to work on her jujitsu over the last years. And it's still not really there because she's still susceptible to submissions. But the story of this is Jocelyn Edwards. I've also seen multiple times fight, and I can replay the clips in my head right now, and also went back and watched some tape. She lasts in fights. Like she knows how to get a decision. She knows how to get in and out. She knows how to be on the ground. She's comfortable everywhere. She's just like a really well-rounded fighter. She does nothing exceptional, but she does everything great. Zombie Girl has been shown repeatedly in her career that if she can't get the person out of there, she tires because of that so much extra weight she cuts down from, and then how big she is on fight night. So what I cooked up is I took I think that because Edwards is more athletic and has like she finishes decisions and doesn't look like she's tired. So I think Zombie Girl tires, trying to get the finish, and Edwards, can take her into deep waters and actually sub her or KO her by exhaustion. So that's plus 180 on the double chance. But at the same time, the parlay piece, which I'll be throwing in for the prelims, I have Edwards by decision or Zombie Girl by KO, and that's minus 150. Um, Zombie Girl definitely has the ability to get the finish, but like overall, like I said, Jocelyn Edwards, I've seen finish decision fights, win or lose, and not like her stomach isn't going heavy. She's not panting to death. So I think that durability and that athletic factor to be able to extend the fight is going to make Priscilla really tire out. And then she's going to be, and when you're tired, anybody is susceptible to getting finished. So I think that we may see a finish here. But if not, like I said, the double chance covers the decision by Jocelyn or the KO by Priscilla at minus 150. But I think Jocelyn gets the finish at plus 180.
Yeah, I'm overall leaning with a Jocelyn sub, a sneaky play. I'm not gonna lie, that's probably my overall prediction for the fight. Um, I think if she gets to the ground, her four subs in her resume, her jujitsu background, well, not background, accolades. Like she has some decent, um, um, uh, I guess lineage with her belt, but uh, I think she's gonna be able to get the sub here or a ground and pound. But she does get lazy down there. She'll give up like position being lazy. Uh, Overall, I think this is Jocelyn Edwards' fight to lose, but we'll take it live for the most part, or take what Unk said. Maybe a Jocelyn Edwards takedown play would be in order, depending on what the lines are. Like if it's like less than 2.5, like if it's like 1 or 2, they're not out yet. I'm looking right now. If it's a half or it's 1.5, 1.5 it would have to be plus money.
Priscilla will be so tired by the third round that I could definitely see one takedown. I would sign off on that. And viewers know Unk doesn't really do a lot of takedown props, but I could definitely see that happening.
If we'll keep it pushing, we'll go to Elijah Smith taking on Koshiomi
All
Kazama.
right, all, all. I'm abstained. Dana White Contender Series guy minus 700 versus guy with puncher's chance. Road to UFC Asia plus 500. Nope. I'm out. So you go ahead, Michael.
All right, Elijah Smith, high athleticism, well-rounded guy, strong grappling, and has reliable striking. He has fast striking, and he's just an overall strong young guy at 22 years old. Gas tank's definitely in question, but not terribly in danger. Looks solid. But he seems overconfident sometimes in his grappling and puts himself in rough positions. But that might have just been Vince Morales because he's kind of sneaky with a submission game. He had that freaking necktie and shit. He had Raul Rojas and but then over on Kazama. Kazama's story is a bit weird. He got knocked out by some random PF Chang worker, and then he got the road to UFC fight against someone who was 27-11. Um, then went to the take on Renu Nakamura, who he just cashed on last week. Uh, yeah, he got knocked out in like 30 seconds, and they signed, I guess, the runner up and the winner. So he got a contract, and he's actually stuck around. So this is probably gonna be his last fight. Probably why they gave it to Elijah Smith, build him up. He's 22, give him a quick W. They didn't want him to lose. Koshiyama, he's gonna run across the ring, and he's gonna automatically try to clinch him up against the ground or put him against the cage and get a sub or something like that. But I think Elijah Smith is too strong for that. And if it's not in the first 30 seconds when Smith like ain't ready or some shit, or like a fake glove touch or something like out of the pocket, I think he's sending Kazama to the Shadow Realm. I don't know how to bet this fight though, because I don't like how steamed the lines are. I'm not paying like round one knockout. Like, let me see how this is. Uh, it's definitely disgusting. Well, the under 1.5 at -140, I do like that. I think that's a realistic play. I think he gets this done before halfway through the second round. Or if you don't think a round three not to start as a parlay piece, you're getting that DraftKings at -235. So you pair that with another play around those odds, you're at plus money. But Unc, you're abstaining from that play, aren't you?
Yeah, because I watched the tape of Kazama fight Akasora, and like he's a lot slower than Smith, and he's a lot less athletic, but he definitely could pull some shit. I mean, and like ruin a lot of people's cards, and I can't tell anyone what to put money on in this fight. And like I have like a Dana White Contender Series like policy guy, and now he's fighting a road to UFC Asia guy. Like I can't tell. I can't tell anybody. Like if I had to say something, Elijah Smith wins by KO or Kazama wins by some sneaky weird sub. But I'm not. No, I'm out.
So an under probably would be in order for that. Uh, Obviously, if takedown props aren't out here for that fight either, but a sneaky, quick Kazama takedown in the first 30 seconds, like a trip trying to get him down against the cage, and like he gets right back up, and then Elijah Smith beats his ass. If it's like plus 200 or better, that could be a look for a longer shot odds. But yeah, like I said, like Unc said, road to UFC plus unproven Dana White Contender Series guy at -700. Yeah, next fight. Oh shit, we got the same shit, bro. There's no route to UFC. We got Julius Walker, who uh was he the one who fought Alonzo Menifield? Yeah, he was, because we cashed on him. We took Alonzo Menifield at -150 on like a Monday. On like open, I sniped that and sent it, and then we ended up pairing that with Nursultan Boy, if I remember. But Julius Walker, big guy, -600's pretty insane. Kind of pisses me off looking at that line. Uh, he's 6-1 with a 4 TKOs, 2 submissions. Trained, he's a mixture of BJJ and kickboxing, so he's a little bit well rounded. He's 6'4", so big for the division, and a 78-inch reach, so he can control distance fairly well. And he didn't look terrible in a split decision loss against Alonzo Menifield. Rafael Cerqueira, on the other hand, I don't think he's UFC level. Got swept by Eva Aslan off the rip, and Modestus Bukauskas, which excuse me, but I don't think I don't think that he's UFC level. I think Julius Walker's gonna be able to find the shot here, and to snipe him down, and yeah, I don't think that he should be here. -600, never in my life. So you can take a Julius Walker same game parlay per usual. If you're taking Julius Walker and you take him by knockout, this is DraftKings, by the way. We could probably take it on Bet three sixty
Honest
five.
200, dog. That's my lean.
What?
That's my lean. -200. Walker and KO.
I was taking Julius Walker KO in under 5.5 minutes. Plus 100 even.
Oh, that's solid. I think they may go to the second though. But all
Rafael
right, I
Stoliarenmo has
got you.
been getting deleted off the rip, and he been brawling in all of his fights. They don't go to decisions. I think that Julius Walker's gonna fuck. Maybe they do. It's might be a sneaky play on the over. I might have to watch again on Cerqueira, but there's not a lot to be known about him. What's your play
They're,
on that again?
all right, so their whole records, and this is in my notes, their entire records is all KOs. from 2023 on, they both only have one decision. They just and then I looked, they just brawl. Like they just strike and brawl. So I put Walker and then by KO, if you just do it like that, it's minus 200. But then if you think that Cerqueira thing, he might get a KO, his is plus 800. So,
Yeah, this is better, I think, uh, than what I was just saying. That you can get this at realistic odds compared to what I just said at 5.5 at plus 100. If you take like under 7.5, or under 8.5 to be a little bit safer, minus 140, under 7.5, minus 125. You're still getting that second round cushion. You're taking 8.5. If you're taking it at uh 10.5, you're getting that at minus 170. So it's like round three not to start kinda. You still get 30 seconds of the third round. But what were you saying?
see, I'm just playing his minus 200. I'm not going to play it as a straight. I'm going to put it with something that we know is more confident. But it's just Walker and then him by KO. Or if you take Cerqueira or whatever by KO, it's plus 800. But like it's a KO. It's just when it happens. Like that's all it is. So, but I'm not gonna. I hear you with if you're trying to like play with the odds, but like I spent enough time on
To be
messing
honest,
with it.
yeah, I know what you mean. I just looked at it. If you take Julius Walker off of that same game parlay and just take knockout and like on 7.5 minutes, you're still at minus 155. I think I'd rather take that than like minus than
How many
minus
minutes?
under 7.5.
See, to me, that's a coin flip, but it's a good bet.
That's what the
I
line
just
is. I'm
don't know.
pretty sure 1.5 is the line for the odds.
Yeah, yeah, that's what. So,
No, it's
I mean, to
actually
me,
under 1.5 is minus 270. So if you think it's going over 1.5, that's plus 200. You should be taking that no matter what.
yeah. See, I don't know. I'm torn. I'm torn. That's why I'm gonna stick with my
Hmm?
minus. What did you say if you do those two? It comes out to
If you just do knockout and then under 7.5 rounds, get minus one.
7.5 minutes.
Oh, 7.5 minutes. Yes.
You get
Get
what?
minus 155.
Yes, yeah. See, to me, it's just not. I'm Unk is sticking with
Yeah.
Walker and KO at minus 200. I'm good with that.
Yeah. I got you. I don't think Cerqueira's getting a knockout either. I think Julius Walker's getting a knockout, and you might as well just not mess around with the times and just take it at minus 200 in a parlay, like you said. We'll keep it pushing, and we'll stop here to talk about the Fade Factory MMA Gems, uh, which always sponsors these videos. It's our child, and we've been running it up over there. Soccer, baseball with the strikeout model. Football is coming up, college football, which are our best sports, honestly. Our most in depth. Unks keep coming out the graveyard to get back on the college football snipes. NFL wise, I'm uh developing and releasing a kicker points model, so that's all free in the Discord. You might as well join. Link in the description. Last card went crazy again. At this point, we don't even have to explain. It's profitable card after profitable card after profitable card. There's no question in it. Get right or get left, and we'll keep it pushing. Christian Lee right
Join
now.
MMA Gems, and yeah, I'm excited for football coming up. Check out the different cappers. We all have our specialties, but yeah, my I just want to throw in there if it's a college game between Tuesday and Friday night, I'm locked in, baby. I do better than I do on Saturdays. So we got a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of everything for everyone. So tap in with Fade Factory on Discord.
And yeah, before I even move on, another note to say, um, is that we have like a bunch of sports in there. We have a capper for professional lacrosse. We have a capper for college lacrosse. Darts, Jai, um, obviously, like I said, golf. What else do we have? Rugby. Like
Rugby.
I'm talking traditional Australians with the rugby too, not no fake American trying to bet on NRL. You got the
We
guys
got these guys.
going to the
These
games.
guys are 14 hours ahead of us. We have our phones set on time zones, so they're sending us in what's going on in Australia.
Yeah, so we're every sport that you can imagine, esports, all that, all the goods. But we'll move on to this card, or to this main card. Christian Leroy Duncan at juiced odds taking on Eric Anders. Christian Leroy Duncan, striker against wrestler in this bout. Eric Anders, veteran since 2017. Notable finishes and decision wins. UFC. It says he's a black belt. I don't know how credible that is, even though he has a background in kickboxing. He is a good, solid wrestler. 6'1", 75-inch reach.
You talking Leroy Duncan?
No, Eric Anders, I meant. Yeah.
His it's legit, but it's like it's not who's the young kid? It's not Chase Hooper shit.
Yeah. Um.
It's not 10th Planet. It's
Yeah.
legit though. Go ahead.
Uh.
And he played football for Alabama.
Yeah. He's a southpaw. Then you got Christian Leroy Duncan, talented striker, has great movement, unorthodox stuff. He's throwing different stuff at you, quick timing, and I do think these odds are decently inflated on this one. I think that Eric Anders might be able to get some takedowns here, and that's another like this card seems like one of my takedown prop cards. I think Eric Anders can get to the ground, and of course they don't have those out yet. Um, Christian Leroy Duncan got taken down 4 times against RoboCop, and RoboCop was looking like fucking. I know RoboCop has good grappling, but he was transitioning from the side mount, all this stuff, like he had RoboCop looking like fucking Marab, bro. I don't like Eric Anders is a pretty good wrestler, and I don't think. Let me look at the age difference. I'm surprised I don't have it in my notes right now. But I don't think that Christian Leroy Duncan is a spring chicken. If I have to guess, but Christian Leroy Duncan is 30. Oh no, he's 30 years old. That's not terrible. And then Eric Anders coming at 38. Oh man, yeah. Well, this is in the apex too, so that might hurt Christian Larry Duncan when it comes to getting away from the grappling. The movement it might be too much for Eric Anders though. This line is way too wide. I think this fight's gonna end up going the distance. I don't think that Eric Anders is getting finished. Um, in this fight, I think he's durable. He's went the distance with some tough competition before. Uh, You're looking at the odds over 2.5 at -188. That's a bit juice. That's signaling like at least the books think that it's going the distance too. So going the distance, what do they think that Christian Leroy Duncan's gonna stand there and fucking outpace him the whole way? If you're taking at Eric Anders alt lines is a possible spot that I want to attack besides takedown props. Plus 7.5 at -120, I think is respectable. I think Eric Anders can easily win a round by getting a takedown or two and holding him down there. But on the other side of it, Christian Leroy Duncan could transcend now. 30 years old, he's a little bit younger than I thought he was, coming into possibly his prime, and uh, I'm still a bit skeptical on him. Definitely in the grappling realm. If you look at his competition, he hasn't fought any really good grapplers. RoboCop took him down 4 times, and that's probably one of the better grapplers that he's fought. And then you have Eric Anders. He's only losing to guys who can match him in the grappling realm, and then like on the feet, like it's usually close ones. Like Park, he fought and lost, like because he neutralized in the grappling realm. I don't know if he's gonna get neutralized in the grappling round here. Like plus 400, that's low key a live dog. Like at those odds, uh, I don't know who I'm gonna lean here. I might have to lean Eric Anders, but I don't bet on like when you know how I am with the age difference things in these kind of fights where it's coin flips. So I'm gonna have to side with the movement of Christian Leroy Duncan to like possibly outpoint him, and he's gonna get the robbery obviously if they give it to him. So I'd probably take the Eric Anders points, but Christian Leroy Duncan maybe my lean, but Take that with a fucking grain of salt. Don't bet on his money line. Unc, how do you feel?
Man, I could be an Eric Anders historian. Dated a Brazilian chick, wanted to sub a Brazilian fighter, never got it done. Got his black belt, played football for Alabama. I followed his whole career. This is his retirement fight, and this whole week in the media, they've been doing the like, it's his retirement. Let's ask a bunch of retirement
Wait,
questions,
it's his
and like,
retirement fight?
yeah, bro.
Oh, I
So
didn't
I'm
even
telling
see
you,
that. So yeah, wait. Now that I know that piece of information, Christian Leroy Duncan's definitely winning.
okay, can't
Um,
finish my thought.
the whole yeah, because you can just go on your spiel, but um,
All right,
Christian Leroy Duncan's gonna win probably. Now that I know that's a retirement fight, and I like that spread even more. Keep going, Unc. My bad.
all right. No, I'm just playing Mikey. So, uh, so yeah. So, and I've followed his whole career. He is durable, but he also like he's too durable for his own toughness. Like his body and his mind has failed him like multiple times. Don't remember what fight it was. He had to crawl on the stool and he couldn't get off the stool. They had to wave it off. Like I've seen him multiple times try to fight Brazilian fighters to sub them because, like I said, that was like his goal and like it didn't work out. Like he's just fought like bruisers, and his whole thing is wrestling. And he used to have a sustainable like cardio, and I'm telling you, as he got older, it just got worse and worse and worse. But he's durable. So like the only way that he wins this fight is if he can wrestle Leroy down and hold him and like mount him and use his weight because he is like a big boy, got big shoulders, big back, big dude, knows how to use his weight. But like, I think his gas tank will fail him. Like, dude, he's whatever age Anders is, add 5 years because he's been in like wars. Like he's been in wars, dude, and that he's retiring early. Like you don't want to do it anymore. He's not that good. I watched tape on Leroy Duncan. He's a striking ninja. So I took Leroy Duncan and over 7.5 minutes at -175 as my lean. I think uh, that Anders' durability will at least get him to a round and a half. And but Leroy Duncan, I think, wins the fight. But also, like I said, this is Anders' retirement fight. Like he's old. I mean, he always the later the fight goes, the bit more he gasses. So I got Leroy Duncan under 12.5 minutes at +190 because I think that he's not going to give him any sympathy and he's really going to lay it on him. And I like the third round. I think Anders is going to be, if he survives, I think he's going to be suck and win tough. But I'm taking Leroy and under 2.5 rounds, but you got to do it as 12.5 minutes to get the +190.
All right, we'll keep this one
The
moving.
lean though is Duncan in over 7.5 minutes. I think Anders can survive for a round and a half, but he once that second round hits, he really got to flip a coin of is he sucking wind or not.
Hold up, that's actually a possible lotto prop. Let me look at the odds on that. If you take um Christian Leroy Duncan knockout under 12 and a half minutes and over 7.5 minutes, like you said, pretty much all exactly the whole translation of what you just said, plus 4,000, plus
That's
4,000,
definitely and
plus
that's definitely worth
plus
sprinkle of
4,200.
salt.
It's Christian Leroy
That's
Duncan by knockout under 12.5 minutes, but over 7.5 minutes. So he has to finish it in between over 1.5 rounds and under 2.5 rounds.
third round starts. Anders is sucking wind. It's blapped in the first 60 seconds. I definitely can see it. Worth a 4,000.
Yeah, for sure. That's actually a wicked lotto. Not gonna lie to you. Like looking at that, that is nuts. And if you move it, you can move it to 13.5 minutes for the under, so you can get a little bit more room later into the third round, and you're still at plus 3,800. I'm putting that in. Like, that is a fucking possible gem. We'll keep it
I'm
moving
putting
though.
in too, baby. Oh, yo, shout out Max too. Max in here. Shout
Oh,
out Max
Max
from
is in. Yeah,
Australia.
I haven't even looked at the members. Oh yeah, shout out Max. That's our, as we were just talking about before, NRL rugby cappers. One of ours right now, live in our gems. We got Gene Matsumoto taking on Miles Johns. Gene Matsumoto, we faded him in his last bout against Rob Font. We took Rob Font as a dog. Uh, Questionable decision. I see a lot of people giving it to Gene, but nonetheless, I think he's a solid up and comer. Another juice fight, but Miles Johns is also tough. Uh, this this fight overall, I still have to do a little more tape for. I don't really have like, I don't want to pay minus 300 for Jim Matsumoto. I think Jim Matsumoto won the fight. I think this is like set up for him to get on track. Miles Johns is on his way out of the UFC, but I think Miles Johns can make it interesting. I don't know. Jim Matsumoto finishing was, um, I'm not quite sure if that's the route that I want to go. What are you thinking about this fight? I want to hear.
So I, I think it's gonna just be like a wrestling match. Like Miles Johns has really good wrestling. I don't know why people are like underrating it. And by the way, Mo, who couldn't be with us, his consensus pick was Matsumoto money line on DraftKings. It's like minus 290. But shout out Mo, that's what he wanted. Matsumoto money line. But like I just think they're just gonna grapple and like pitter patter fight. You know, like step in, step out, step in, step out. So I don't see a finish. Like I don't see I don't see how Matsumoto like I don't he's not a it's not Bruce Lee striking. I mean, and they're like I said, Johns will wrestle and wrestle and wrestle, and Matsumoto isn't like I don't know anything crazy in jujitsu. So I got Johns at plus 5.5 at minus 160. And then in the parlay piece, I took Matsumoto to win by split decision because, like, I could easily see this being an upset and him getting out grappled. But Matsumoto has the advantage in the striking. So if he can put some heavy, good stuff on Johns, it will keep him away and at bay, and Matsumoto will cruise to a decision. But, like, I don't see a finish in this. I don't know.
Yeah, so maybe an over is in order. I'm just looking at any Matsumoto lines. Matsumoto minus 3.5. No, I don't like the minus lines. It's juiced to the over, so Miles Johns, red, like you said, might be appropriate. Might be a live bet fight because I think Matsumoto's line will come down if Johns makes it competitive early, which is likely. But I don't want to talk much on this fight. I wish Mo was here, not on the jet to Buffalo because this best pick or block of the card. Matsumoto money line. So, uh, obviously, if you guys are in gems, he'll give his whole spill as we approach the card. Now we got C Rod versus Andre Fili. So, fuck, man, Andre Fili. He got you guys. I was on my shield. I'm pretty sure. When he fought Milky Costa, you guys liked Fili. I took Milky Costa as a dog. He slipped that sub in, and then you guys started bleeding.
Yeah, that aged well. Yes. Do you want me to come over on the other on the other side of the desk and give you flowers or what? That aged well.
It felt good because then you look at the other side, C Rod, against the Milky Costa. I also took Milky Costa, but anyway, C Rod versus Andre Fili in the Sons of Milky Costa war, and then you have C Rod's more of a well-rounded striker or well-rounded fighter, as he has the striking, pressure, as well as his grappling, and great sprawling and takedown defense when he's down there. Feely more of the veteran here. There's a decent age difference. C Rod, you would think that with how many fights he has, that he's like some big time veteran, but he's only 28 years old, so he is not. He's not very tenured in the UFC. Well, he's tenured in the UFC, but he's not very like taxed. He's been in some battles, but he's still only 28 years old. Andre Fili, on the other hand, 36 professional fights, 35 years old. He has some damage on him. Um, he's lost to some good competitions of like Joe Anderson, Brito, which is mid. Nathaniel Woods is a solid guy. Danny Melquiza Costas, Yusuf, Michael Johnson, Calvin Qatar, Yair Rodriguez. So these are all big names. A lot of people are just saying that C Rod's crushing cans, but he is, or not crushing cans, crushing prospects. But he's only fighting who's been given it to him, and he's only 28 years old, so he's not some veteran over here like crushing these younger guys. Uh, he has 15 fights on his career, and he's lost to some vets. Yeah, Julian Erosa knocked the Gillian. He's not getting choked out by Andre Fili. I think that he's going to be able to outlast him for a decision win on the card convincingly, and his line keeps dropping down. It was like minus 300 at one point, and now I've seen it as low as like minus 230. So that's going to be my I think my submit for the parlay, depending on how I feel by the end of the video. But I think I'm going Christian Rodriguez by decision. But overall, his money line's getting a little bit better by the day. How do you feel on?
So I took so yeah, I th- I think Andre Philly should hang it up too. This isn't his retirement fight. It should be. He does not look good anymore. I was so high in him on the Costa fight, and then he's had like one fight since then, and I went back and looked at his record, and he's had like one win in like the last like 3 years, and it was over like 41-year-old Cub Swanson. I have in my notes like Philly does not look the same. Do not get caught up like in old thinking he is like the old fighter. Like so then I took C-Rod with his money line, which is at minus 245 at the time. And then my parlay piece was C-Rod to win by KO or sub because like after I used to watch Philly and like he would be in the alpha male videos with the headgear on and be in the gi and doing jujitsu. After he hit that double leg and then Costa slipped in that guillotine so easily, like that just deflated like everything. Like I just he's not the same guy. And Christian Rodriguez is a young, hungry guy that pushes the pace, wrestles, is in your face, is aggressive, nasty, and yeah, so I think there's a chance that C Rod may overwhelm him and sub him, like stun him and sub him, or but he just wins the fight and you can't play that straight out. It's like minus 250, but that's my prediction for the fight. Like Andre Fili, if he does win, he's going to use a lot of teep kicks. He's going to stay at distance and he's going to be able to scramble on the ground. But like, it's just not the same guy that I used to watch. He's been horrible the last couple fights.
Yeah, uh, I agree with you. He is aging like milk, and I'm gonna have to go Christian Rodriguez. That's what I'm gonna go for my selection for the podcast collab. But we're gonna move on to the last woman's fight of the night. Oh, thankfully, we got Angela Hill versus Lucindo. I'm gonna use my abstain, I guess, with because it's just the same shit, bro. Every time I see an Angela Hill fight, it's just the same shit over and over. And I feel like if you haven't watched MMA, every single person is gonna explain this the same way. It's gonna be like you. I guess Lucindo has some upside, possibly a finish, but like Angela Hill can grapple. She makes her fucking career off of making these pretty ass decisions. Her plus 3.5 is like minus two something. So like, are you really playing that? No. Last time I took her for the two takedowns. She was like plus 200. She got that. Um, oh, she has takedown props. So let's see what it is. Angela Hill one takedown minus 125. Bring it up. I no longer abstain. Bring that shit up. Angela Hill one takedown minus 125. Unk, over you.
Oh, Angela Hill's getting to the end of her career. She had I we're it's funny. She would host a thing on Instagram with Jessica Penne, and they didn't have too many followers, but I always thought Jessica Penne and her were great women's fighters. And had a question and answer thing one time, and she was going back and forth with me in her comments about what I because I had a very interesting answer to something she had asked. So I'm a personal Angie Hill lover. But that last fight that she had, I noticed that at the end of the fight, she was very winded. So even though that she's staying in shape, she's over 40 now. I'm almost positive. Um,
Yeah, she is.
and yeah, so she's over 40 years old, but like you can only do so much. I mean, you don't have the gas tank of these younger fighters. So it's I like I don't think I'm gonna bet it, but if you're looking for like a safe parlay piece, Angela Hill plus five and a half is minus 280. You can throw that in with something because like I don't see Lucinda finishing her, and it'll go to the judges, and Angie Hill knows how to win rounds, and like she's fought way better competition than Lucinda, but. Uh, if you want to go the other way, I took Lucinda and over 1.5 rounds because if Lucinda wins the fight, she'll win by decision, and that's what it is. I mean, she's not going to finish Angela Hill, but um, the thing, like I said earlier, I noticed at the end of the decision in her last fight, she really was breathing hard, and she's like 42 years old. So Lucinda may be able to squeeze out a decision in some grappling type of way, but like I don't know. Angie Hill did jujitsu for a long time. She did Muay Thai for a long time. She's long. She knows how to use her limbs. So that's what it is. You want a parlay piece for Hill? It's plus 5.5, minus 280. You want a parlay for something like a little bit playable for Lucinda? It's Lucinda and over 1.5 rounds at minus 155. But personally, I think Angela Hill wins the fight by decision. I'm just not willing to, I don't really want to tell the viewers to put that in because this young girl, Lucinda, who if she has she has the ability to be a decent wrestler, so if she can get the better of some striking exchanges and the better of some grappling, like they give her the decision, so that's what it is.
Yeah, so like he just said, he likes Angela Hill. I like the Angela Hill. Well, he's not I guess promoting the pick here. So he gave you those two parlay piece and playable parlay. Personally, for me, only thing I like there is a takedown prop for Angela Hill or fight to be won by split decision plus 200 because that's how
Think
Angela Hill.
takedown think takedown prop is money too.
Yeah. They can move on to the co-main event. Short notice fight for Odie Osbourne taking on Steve Erceg. Erceg juiced up at minus 555. He was supposed to take on Park. Just got thrown to the wolves against Tyre last weekend. Um, Odie Osbourne comes in here. Odie Osbourne gets that extra 10 pounds on him. He's taller, has the striking, makes it a little bit interesting. It's plus 400 dog. But I think that Erceg is going to be able to get to his grappling here. Erceg had some competitive moments in the grappling realm against uh Pantoja, and you see what Pantoja's doing. So I think Steve Erceg is going to be able to get the grappling. But I don't know. Odie Osbourne has some extreme range, so he's not. It's not out of the question that he comes out here at plus. Probably take a knockout line as a lotto pick because the odds, like as a plus EV angle, and not just talking about what I think is gonna happen. If you're talking like plus 700 and shit for an Osbourne knockdown, and that's gonna be like fucking like less than less than 15% or 15% probability or whatever. Like, I think he can get a knockout one time out of 10 against Steve Erceg, so worth a shot. But I'm gonna ride with Steve Erceg here. I think he can get a win via either decision or submission. How do you like? What do you feel on this? Oh wait, let me look up. I saw like the takedown props they had on this for Steve Erceg. It's like one of the most steamed one I've ever seen on DraftKings. One takedown is like minus 350. Didn't even have the 2+ up, so like I don't know what. But what do you feel, Unc?
Yeah, so Odie Osbourne can strike and is hell of aggressive, but Steve Erceg has really proved me wrong in the past with his striking and grappling ability. Definitely has a higher advantage in the grappling. If he takes the back, it's over. So I really lean Steve Erceg. I think he's gonna not have a full fight. I think he's gonna clean this up pretty easily. So I took for my lean Erceg by KO or sub -135, and then for the parlay piece, I put Erceg by decision, which is +200. If it would go to the decision. But I don't see any world other than Odie Osbourne getting a KO and where that he would be able to use like his particular skill set to defeat Steve Erceg. And his KO is +900, so you can play that like for a hedge piece if you don't like anything else I said. But yeah, Steve Erceg with he had a championship fight, so he has like championship fight experience. He did get knocked out by Cachoeira France, but Cachoeira France that was last year, and Cachoeira France was swinging like an absolute like. If you watch the knockout, it's a ridiculous blitz. So like, I'm not gonna fault his chin at all on that. And I think the technicality of Steve Erceg to be able to use his striking and be able to get in and grapple at the same time, he is if he grabs a limb, I think he can literally do whatever he wants to Odie Osbourne, and then it's just simple take the back and choke him out.
Yeah, so Steve
I think
Erceg's sub is super live. Finish.
those are the that's what I got though for those two bets.
Yeah, if I might do a one or two. Well, one is juice. If you do two takedowns for Steve, whenever it drops, I might be able to get that around. But like we said, it should be a short night for Steve. Like hopefully for nice, dude might get cut or might not get re-signed. We'll go to the main event though. We got Fluffy Hernandez taking on Roman Dolidze. Roman Dolidze cashed us out on his last main event adventure against Marvin Vettori. Came back off a long 2 year layoff. Um, now he's taking on. Now he's getting an elevated fight here against Fluffy, and it's a tough fight. When I was thinking about mine, like -334, I would rate him more like a -200 something, -230, but I don't know about that. I think the value is on Dolidze here, but I do think Fluffy gets it done. I think in the later rounds, 4-5, when Roman Dolidze starts to gas a little bit from he gas from these striking wars. Imagine now that he's gonna have to be stuffing these retarded ass takedowns. Fluffy be falling off the sides and shooting again. Like Fluffy be doing crazy sprawls and shit. So if Roman Dolidze is getting gas from being on the feet, he's getting gas from them. And 4-5, I know Fluffy's gonna be there. And 4-5, I know he's gonna be there. Is Roman Dolidze gonna be there? Maybe the corpse of Roman Dolidze. So I'm gonna have to side with Fluffy. -330 is pretty crazy. While Unc gives his spiel, I'm gonna find a realistic play for you. Oh, it's 5.5 takedowns for Fluffy. That's a bit high. I don't know about that line. I took the under against Brendan Allen, but that was a 3 rounder, so I'm a little skeptical.
I mean, Fluffy gonna have some takedowns, but all right. This was actually shouted out, I think, in the combat sports tab by our boy Mike Too Raw or somebody
Oh
else.
no,
I know Hot
it was Beanford. It was the +13.5. You're gonna say?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Beanford.
it was Beanford, and if Hot Hand was in here, he's already hammered this for 2 units. It's actually gone up because like when Hot Hand got it, I think it was like minus 105. But Dolidze right now plus 13.5 is minus 115. Like if he survives this fight, that is cash. And then my parlay piece would be Dolidze, Dolidze, however you want to say it, by KO or Fluffy by sub because I mean I think there's a higher chance of Fluffy subbing him than them going the full fight. But I also think that if Fluffy don't get the takedowns, he's gonna get tired, and if Dolidze's cardio holds up, he'll be putting a lot of wallop and shots on Fluffy. But Fluffy's damn good. So Dolidze by KO or Fluffy by sub is plus 110. Dolidze by the my lean though is brought to you by what was his name?
Beanford.
Bean Beanford, and it's plus 13.5 minus 115 right now on DraftKings of this recording on 8-7.
All right, so I have my read on what I'm gonna go with for my play here. It's gonna be on FanDuel. It's gonna be an alt round bet, and it's gonna be Anthony Hernandez round 4-5 or decision plus 110. That's what I'm gonna rock with. I think. I think he gets him in the later rounds when, like I said before when I was explaining, Elite's gonna be there in 4-5 because Fluffy's gonna be there and he's getting him out of there either in 4-5 or on the cards. Um, let's get this parlay going for the collab. Uh, well, first things first, the first leg of the parlay is brought to you by Mo. Mo knows MMA. Couldn't make it because he took the private jet to Buffalo. So he is locking in Matsumoto on the money line. And a bit juiced here, but yeah, Matsumoto on the money line he took. Uh, then I am gonna take Christian Rodriguez on the money line. C-Rod on the money line. I'm gonna rock with it. And what are you on,
That's a great question.
Unc? We'll give it a minute.
Because we can't for this we can't give out same game parlays. It has to be a one piece selection, and everything there's no money lines that are left.
Now I gave a same game before.
All right, yeah, but I try not to do that. Give me a word from our sponsors. 60 seconds.
Yeah, you're good. We're at
Oh my!
look where the best odds are right now. Cause that's on DraftKings and Matsumoto's starting to get a bit up.
I think I think Julius Walker and KO. I think that Chris Cesara is like too small. He's too short, and he won't be able to land the KO. So Julius Walker and
By KO.
KO minus 200.
Oh yeah, okay, bet. Yeah, Julius Walker by KO.
Yeah,
So
and just him just KO. It should be minus 200.
that gets us to plus 184 on DraftKings. I'm gonna check for you guys real quick on the line for on FanDuel. So Matsumoto. Oh shit, Jesus Christ! Matsumoto's up over minus 300, minus 325 now. So take it on DraftKings plus 185. We don't have hot hand, and he didn't give us our suggestion. Um, if you want to add one to get spicy, you can take we'll take our suggestion from Beanford plus 13.5 Roman Dolidze as a as a unanimous tip on this one, and it's gonna be that's gonna make this parlay plus 431, a bit juicier for you guys. So that's the original parlay is Julius Walker by knockout, Gene Matsumoto, and C Rod. at plus 185, and then the plus juicy parlay with the pick from Beanford. We'll start doing that. We'll start adding a pick from the combat sports tab. That gets us to plus 431 on DraftKings. As always, thank you guys for sticking around. We'll be sending more plays after weigh-ins tomorrow, and as always, hop in the gems, hop in Fade Factory, and we're gonna get this money. We'll see you at the cash counter. You got any parting words, Unc?
We got a long weekend of MMA. Saturday, we got the PFL event starting at 12. And we got the 12 Eastern time. Then we have the UFC starting at 3 o'clock Eastern time. At this current time, we don't have anything for PFL. I did look over it a little bit, but I didn't see anything that stuck out to me. We may or may not be dropping plays for that. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. And those are the lays. As always, disclaimer, do your own research. We've given you the paths of victory for each fighter and how it may happen. We happen to have had good success this year, and we thank you for riding with us, and we want to keep this going. So, all right, have a good night, folks. We'll see y'all next week.
For those people that didn't hop out just there, I actually have a sneaky play real quick for PFL Africa. Dwight Joseph money line minus 155. Don't hammer it. But before we drop more, if you stay to the end, there you go. I'll see you guys at the cash counter.